Oh, and don't forget your sugar. Put the sugar in. One of the other tools that you need for winemaking, you find a good plastic spoon, one that's long enough to fit down in your 6-gallon bucket. It's also important at this stage, keep your hands washed clean. I've added the sugar, I've added the Camden tablets. So we've got a thick mix right here, a very thick mix. And this spoon right here is not going to do it. So what I like to do, I like to feel what I'm getting. I like to stick my hand down in here, make sure it's good and clean, wash your arm real good. I like to see what I have and stir the whole thing up with my hand. If I need to add any more water, which in this case I do, because some of this is by feel. Some of this you have to do by feel. You don't want to get too much water in it. It's usually about a gallon that I add, and it looks like there's about half a quart left. So this looks like it's going to be just about right. A gallon of water to 5 gallons. And of course it raised it almost up to the 5-gallon level on this bucket. You stir it up real good. All this stuff, you stir it up really, really good. There we go. After you've added all the ingredients, your sugar, your water, your Camden tablets, your yeast nutrient, your pectic enzyme, what you do is you find you a good clean towel and you cover this and you let it sit for 24 hours before you put your yeast in here. That'll give that sanitizer time to kill that wild yeast off your fruit. And you just cover it with a towel. And that's it for 24 hours. So, see you in 24 hours. Good afternoon again. This is Jeff. And it's been 24 hours since we mixed our 5-gallon batch of muscadine wine. And we put everything into it except for the yeast, because we had to wait 24 hours for the Camden tablets to sterilize the old wild yeast on the grapes. Now, another thing I wanted to discuss with you all is I want to show you these instruments right here. This one is a thermometer. Okay? Floating thermometer. This one is a hydrometer. And what this does, this measures the specific gravity of your wine or your beer. I use these a lot more when I make beer. But I promise you, you'll see tools like this on the internet, people trying to get you to sell this. You'll hear wine terms as you read about winemaking on the internet, or you watch YouTube videos and you hear all these fancy terms, and all of us plain folks cannot understand all these terms all the time. So it's like we're getting ready to put the yeast in the wine. They call that pitching the yeast. You know, there's all kind of terminology used in wine and beer making, but I promise you, thermometer, not needed in winemaking. Hydrometer, not needed in winemaking. I promise you, if you'll follow these simple steps that I show you throughout these videos, I promise you, you'll be making some of the best wine that you've ever tasted, and some of the best wine there is out there on the market, store-bought or anywhere. This is a gallon of my bronze muscadine wine from last year. And what color, if I can get it into the camera and show you, what color is in this bronze. Look how pretty, look how crystal clear that it is. just can't beat the color. You can't beat the clarity. You can't beat. Oh, it's full body. It's hard to beat Alabama Muscadine. It's Braun Muscadine. And last but not least, you cannot beat the flavor. And whoa, what a kick. Good wine, you can tell good wine if it warms you up on the first sip. Good wine. Cheers, Chief, Harry, Glenda. Cheers, you guys. Follow these directions and I promise you, you'll be making some of the best wine that there is out there. Simple and easy. Now, when you put your yeast in your wine, you want to sprinkle it around real good. Try to get a shot there. Hold this camera too. Sprinkle it around on top really good. Kind of even as you can. Now that yeast will attack the sugar in 24 hours and it'll be ready to stir. Do not stir it. Leave it like that. Leave that yeast. That yeast will get on down in there and it'll go after that sugar all by itself. You will not have to worry about the yeast. Yeast loves sugar and they love to eat it. And then their waste product is alcohol. But leave it like that. Don't stir it or anything. 24 hours. It'll be ready to stir. Okay. It's been 24 hours. Wait until that. See the way the hulls have looked like they've risen? I mean, yeast rises. It's called a rising condition with your grapes. Rises bread. Same thing. That way you know the yeast is working. Then you can go ahead and stir it once a day. Keep it in the bucket for 10 days, stirring once a day. Now the way you know the yeast is working, look at the bubbles. Oh yeah. Yeah. You look at the bubbles. That way you know it's going. Go, baby. Stir it up nice. Stir it up real nice. Go, baby. See the bubbles? You know it's working off fine. It don't hurt at all to talk to your wine. Some say it's good for it. Some say it helps your wine. Come on, baby. Work it off. Come on. Get that spoon down in there real deep. Stir it real good. Do this once a day for 10 days. Look how pretty that foam is. God, it's going to be good this year. Awesome. That is awesome. And there you have it, the first stage of wine making. After 10 days, they'll go into the big glass cardboards or the water bottles, as I call them. And so I'll see you all in 10 days.